Part 1. What kinds of music do you listen to? Well, I think it depends. My taste for music kinda changes according to my mood. For example, when I just broke up with someone and felt sad, I would like to listen to sad love songs because I could always find comfort within such good songs. But when I'm feeling happy, I wouldn't need romantic songs. I would rather listen to something like rap or rock and roll because they can make me even happier. Well, I think it depends. When I'm sad, I will listen to sad songs because there is always some comfort in them. When I'm happy, I will listen to some happy songs like rap or rock and roll. What's your favorite kind of music? Well, it's kind of hard to answer this question. I do have my favorite kind of music, but my favorite kind of music changes from time to time. The reason why a kind of music becomes my favorite is that it provides the exact kind of comfort that I need during that period of time, but time changes, and the kind of comfort I need also changes. When I just broke up with someone and felt sad, I would like sad love songs best. When I feel happy, I would just like romance or rap songs best. Well, my favorite kind of music changes from time to time. I like the kind of music that gives me the kind of comfort that I need. When I feel sad, I will like sad love songs best. When I feel happy, I will like romantic or rap songs best.
When do you listen to music? I listen to music all the time on my phone and while I'm doing lots of different things. I listen to music when I'm exercising at the gym, when I'm working, or even when I'm relaxing or spending time with my friends. How much time do you spend listening to music every day? In total, probably about 30 minutes to an hour. I sometimes listen to music when I take the bus to work and also when I want to relax in the evenings. What kinds of music do you like to listen to? I'm a big fan of lots of different genres, and the music I listen to depends on where I am and what I'm doing. For example, if I'm in the gym, I listen to rock music to keep me motivated. What's your favorite kind of music? I've always been into pop music because it's easy to listen to, it's appropriate for all kinds of occasions, and a lot of them are very catchy and fun, and they put me in a good mood. Have you ever been to a concert before? Yes, I've been to lots of concerts, especially when I was a teenager, because I used to spend all my money on concert tickets and I used to go to gigs with my friends.
What types of music do you like to listen to?
I usually listen to Chinese pop music. I'm very fond of two pop stars from Taiwan and Hong Kong, but I doubt you know their names. I also frequently listen to some American pop songs. I'm fond of two bands called Westlife and the Backstreet Boys. I love the rhythm and the lyrics of some of the songs. Occasionally, I listen to a bit of rap too. Although I don't understand the lyrics, the tune gives me energy. I have uploaded many songs onto my MP3 player, so I can listen to any kind of music I like, anytime, anywhere.
At what times of day do you like to listen to music?
Usually I put my earphones in when I go to school in the morning. I take the bus every single day. I prefer listening to my own music rather than the bus radio. I often listen to music after school, too, on my way back, and sometimes in my room at night after doing my homework. Music can help me relax.
Do you prefer to listen to recordings or live performances?
I guess I don't really have a preference. It depends on who is playing. Usually, recordings are much clearer, the voices are better, and if the song is in English, it's much easier for me to understand the lyrics. However, live performances are very exciting, especially after the song, when the artist talks to the audience and everyone cheers and claps. It can create some pretty cool feelings.
What types of music are popular in your country?
Well, Chinese pop music is huge here. This is the type of music you can hear if you go to karaoke, or if you turn on your TV around 7 p.m. at night. In addition, there are quite a few rock bands in my country, and they are very trendy. Nowadays, many young people like foreign pop groups like Linkin Park and Daft Punk. Of course, traditional instrumental music has always been well appreciated, and some young singers like Jay-Chou mix ancient instruments like the pipa, erhu, or guzheng with electric guitars and modern tunes. It's an interesting combination that many people like.
Do all children in your country study music at school?
Yes, definitely. Music is a compulsory subject at school in China. Usually, teachers teach students how to sing and how to recognize the musical notes do, re, mi. You know, there are so many students per class, so teachers cannot teach everyone how to play an instrument. It's easier to make everyone sing.
Do you play a musical instrument?
No, when I was a child, I started learning the clarinet, but it didn't last long. I didn't like it, and my mother kind of forced me to. We had a big fight one day, and that was it. I would like to learn how to play the guitar in the future. Right now, I have no time because of my studies. Maybe during the next summer holidays.
Do you think children should learn to play a musical instrument?
I think it's great if parents can give their children an opportunity to learn how to play one instrument. But the problem is that, very often, kids don't enjoy it, but they keep on learning because their parents expect them to. Maybe it's better to wait until the children are old enough to actually make the decision on their own.
When do you listen to music? Well, it just depends on my mood and my circumstances. When if I feel like I'm really relaxed and I don't have a lot of things to do, so I will listen to music anytime in the day, especially when I'm working in a gym or something like that to really motivate myself. However, if just like the day is just typical day of working, I would maybe never listen to any music or listen to music when I get up. Usually some hip-hop songs to cheer me up. How much time do you spend listening to music every day? Like I said before, it's just like depends on the exact circumstances I was in. Like if I'm really free, maybe it will be up to like 5 hours or 6 hours. I'm really crazy about music while I'm doing the driving or doing some exercise or weightlifting in the gym. I listen to some rap music to motivate myself. But if I'm really busy, maybe I'll never do any music listening. What kinds of music do you like to listen to? My two biggest favorites, my two biggest genres are rap and jazz. Now I'm especially feel it's great to listen to trap music because that's come from ATL. Trap music really make you bounce in the club and you can really relax yourself, and it's also very easy to imitate or very easy to sing something of the trap music. And jazz music, of course, is a classic. It can really help me to relax myself, especially when I'm sipping a cup of coffee, in a bar or something, like in a cafe. What's your favorite kind of music? Well, like I said before, two of my favorite types of. I don't have one, the only one favorite type of music. I think I have two selected music genre for myself, like jazz and rap. Jazz is more like, urban, it's like just like the early 20th centuries vibe. And rap music is more like rebellious. It's just like more against some established tradition, or just to be more pioneering. That's who I am. Have you ever been to a concert before? Not exactly like the classical concert or traditional string music or some of these old classic music concert, but I go to some like live performance of the Chinese pop star, and his name is Lin Youjia.
When do you listen to music? Well, the question, the time when I listen to the music is really unfixed. It's like, I feel like I want to listen to music whenever I want to feel. I feel like I want to be. I want to listen to music. So it seems like, in the morning, I would use some hip-hop music to wake me up, and I can do some morning dancing or morning aerobics routine. And when I get some insomnia and I couldn't really sleep well at night, I would also listen to some, peaceful music, something like the Banderies or like work music, like Chariot of the God of Valerius. I remember the name was Valerius, something like that. The time when I listen to music is really uncertain. It's like unfixed because it would be dependent on different kinds of situations, and I might choose whether to listen to music at the time or not. For example, when I feel so nervous, I will listen to some hip hop music to really unwire my brain, and some rappers like Gucci Mane or Waka Flocka Flame, so I could feel so released. But would I feel down, or would I feel like I couldn't sleep, I want to pacify myself by listening to some Vangelis, Chariots of the God, like work music. How much time do you spend listening to music every day? Well, it's still also uncertain because, I don't really count the times, like, the length, the duration of me listening to music every day. Like, I guess, I'm really a music lover, so maybe 1 to 5 hours, that would be really, really unstable, it varies. Like on the weekends, I would listen to a lot of music, different types of music while doing the exercise in the gym. But in the weekdays, I don't have a lot of time available, so I've just listened to a moderate amount of music. What's your favorite kind of music? Well, actually, in reality, I don't really have my favorite type of music. If I just was to give list one of them, because I think I love 3 different types of music: the rap music, the jazz music, and the blues music. So, rap music, of course, we know it's really relaxing. I like the rhythm. I can dance to the beat and nod my head at the same time. But for jazz and blues, it's more like urban culture. And I feel like I'm really attracted by that kind of a rhythm or feeling that it's really soothing. Yeah, I love them. Have you ever been to a concert before? Yes, of course, but I didn't really remember the details of that concert. It's like, I remember it was a girls band, like, everybody listened to the 3 girls singing, and, we were cheering for them. But I think one of the most impressive moments in a concert was me playing at a concert, because I'm a part-time rapper. I perform my own rap music with my group of, singing band, with my rapper friends. So I think, people cheered for us. They cheered for us. So I think that was really impressive.
What types of music do you like to listen to?
It depends on my mood. If I need energy because I'm tired or sad, I enjoy listening to rock or R&B because they're exciting and very lively. If I want to relax or have a break from my homework, I would listen to some softer pop music. My favorite singer is a Chinese star called Jay Chou. I like his music because it's a mix of styles.
At what time of the day do you like to listen to music?
I enjoy listening to music at all times. When I wake up, I like to listen to music because it gives me energy. When I take the bus to school, I also listen to music on my MP4. It helps me relax when the bus is crowded. At night, after a long day of studying, I also listen to music. Sometimes, I also listen to my favorite singers when I'm doing my homework.
Do you prefer to listen to recordings or live performances?
I think that the quality of music is better when it's recorded in a studio. In concerts, the atmosphere is great, but the sound and the voice of the singers are different.
What types of music are popular in your country?
I think the most popular type of music is pop music. If we turn on the TV or the radio, we can listen to a lot of pop artists. But many young people also enjoy rap and hip-hop because they're exciting and very lively. A lot of older people, like my parents and grandparents, prefer listening to jazz or old traditional Chinese songs.
Do all children in your country study music in school?
I think so. I think that every school offers music classes for students. Teachers want to improve children's creativity and give them a chance to learn more about Chinese and foreign music.
Do you play a musical instrument?
Yes, I have been playing the piano since I was 5. I take lessons every week with a private teacher. I love the sound of the piano. I think it's relaxing. No, although I took some music lessons when I was very young, I can't play any instrument. My parents wanted me to learn, but I wasn't interested, so I gave up.
Do you think children should learn to play a musical instrument?
I think that parents should encourage children to play music, but children shouldn't have to learn if they don't want to. We shouldn't force young people to study music if they're not interested in it.
Now I'd like to talk about music. What's your favorite kind of music?
Well, I would say my favorite kind of music is jazz.
Why?
Because my mother, when I was little, my mother used to listen to jazz, and so I heard it when I was young. And then when I was a bit older, I started playing music, and the first kind of music that I played a lot of was jazz, and so I would say that my strongest connection musically is to jazz.
How much time do you spend listening to music every day?
Well, that's a funny thing. I'm that kind of person. I prefer to participate rather than to listen. And I don't actually listen to very much music every day at all.
When do you listen to music?
I listen to music when people are performing or when I'm performing. And so that's when I have most of my musical experiences in live performances.
Have you ever been to a concert before?
Have I ever been to a concert? I can't count the number of concerts I've been to, either as a performer or as an audience member.
Music. How often do you listen to music? Well, I listen to music all the time. As long as I have a little bit of time, I just put on my headphones and listen to some songs. Because music is definitely something that is really relaxing and enjoyable, you know? Sometimes when I feel under so much pressure, music helps me unwind. How much time do you spend on listening to music every day? I guess I spend at least an hour listening to music every single day. This usually happens on my way to school. You know, every morning I take the subway to school, and it takes me about 30 to 35 minutes to get to school. So on my way there, I just listen to music because it definitely helps me pass the time. And also, sometimes I listen to some music a little bit before hitting the sack. Did you like music when you were a child? Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been crazy about music. All kinds of music. Rock and roll, hip-hop, R&B, jazz, country music, and so on. I've been a huge fan of music ever since I was a kid. So I remember when I was growing up, I used to listen to I had a lot of cassettes. I would listen to them in my downtime when I was not studying. So yeah, I totally liked music as a child. Have you been to a concert before? I have been to two. And one of them was last year. It was in the middle of my summer vacation. I went to Jolin's concert in Shanghai with several of my friends, and we had a whale of a time there.
Well, what's your favorite kind of music? Well, there are many different kinds of music that I like, such as rock, country, and hip-hop. But my favorite is pop music because it sounds good and is very catchy. I mean, when I listen to some pop music, it always makes me relax and I can also sing along with the music. Have you ever been to a concert before? Well, I've never been to a live concert before. This is because I've been fully occupied with my study, like writing papers or prepare for exams. So I don't have the time to go to a concert. Besides, the singers that I like didn't come to my hometown to perform, so I was not that interested in going to those concerts. When do you listen to music? Well, sometimes I listen to music when I'm jogging. Other times I listen to some music while walking my dog Jack. Well, how much time do you spend listening to music every day? Well, it really depends. If I have a lot of homework to deal with, I don't have time for music. And I really need to focus on my study, like writing a paper, because listening to music can be distracting. However, if I have a lot of free time, like on weekends, I listen to music with my phone all the time, just for fun.
Do you like music?
Well, I'm really into music. The most important reason it is a way to express my feelings. Whenever I have spare time, I would like to listen to jazz music or light music over a cup of coffee. To be honest, I'm not so interested in music. I think the explanation behind this is that I feel bored when listening to music. That is to say, music will not attract me. Nevertheless, say that I have got leisure time, I prefer to read a book or take a walk.
What type of music do you like?
Personally, I feel jazz music is always my type. I'd attribute it to the fact that it makes me think when listening to jazz music. A classic example of this, whenever I listen to the jazz music, it gives me inner peace and I feel quiet and cozy.
What kind of music is popular now in China?
To the best of my knowledge, I think folk music is quite popular in China today. All the same, I guess different kinds of music are popular amongst different groups. For instance, the young people prefer pop, band or rap, while the old people are fond of classical, light or opera.
Can you play any musical instruments?
I'm afraid no, although I think it's so cool to play a musical instrument no matter what it may be, guitar, piano or even drums. Meanwhile, if I choose an instrument to play one day, I would always like to learn how to play the piano. For sure, I have learned how to play the guitar when I was young. It was really difficult for me to play it, but I spent a lot of time on practicing it. As a result, I think it is kind of way to cheer me up when I feel blue.
How does music affect people's lives?
First of all, I'd like to point out music affects people's lives in many different ways, just as there are many different sorts of music. But in my personal experience, I believe that it is just like a book, which records stories, love, happiness, and so on. In addition to this, I guess it's also a language of emotion.
Okay, here is the second video on the part 1 topic of music. Let's have a listen.
Part 1. What kinds of music do you listen to? Well, I think it depends. My taste for music kinda changes according to...
Taste for music is not wrong, but usually we say taste in music. My taste in music. The according to, that's right, but here is not the right preposition.
Mood. For example, when I just broke up with someone and felt sad.
Now, why is he using the past tense here? He's giving an example of something that's a fact, of something that's true. So why not say after I've just broken up with someone and I feel sad? Why is he using the past tense here?
Just broke up with someone and felt sad. I would like to listen to sad love songs because I could always find comfort within such good songs.
Not sure if he said sounds or songs here.
Within such good songs.
Songs, sounds, not sure.
But when I'm feeling happy.
Okay, so here, if you listen to the way that he uses intonation, he's using intonation and a little bit of stress on happy to show contrast. But when I'm feeling happy,
I wouldn't need romantic songs.
Yeah, I don't know what... I think he's trying to say the word songs, but the way that he says this is a bit strange. And here, I don't know why he's saying wouldn't. Because this is present tense. When I'm feeling happy, I don't need. Not wouldn't need. I don't need.
I would rather listen to something like rap or rock and roll because...
Just... Nobody says rock and roll anymore. People just say rock. So I'd rather listen to something like rap or rock.
They can make me even happier.
Okay. Not bad. Some problems with, I guess if you say rock and roll, it's not wrong, but I don't think rock and roll exists anymore. Anyway, some problems with vocabulary, minor problems, and some problems with modals and tenses. Anyway, here he has a different answer, a little bit shorter.
Well, I think it depends. When I'm sad, I will listen to sad songs.
I still think this should just be I listen to. When I'm sad, I listen to sad. When I'm sad, I listen to sad songs. Why will?
Because there is always some comfort in them.
There's always some comfort in them. Yeah, I can find comfort in them. But something he does well is, well, saying it depends. Because, I mean, people don't listen to the same kind of music all the time, right? So it depends. Sometimes it's A, sometimes it's... Where's B? Oh, here's B. So sometimes A, sometimes B. It depends. That's not a bad strategy to use.
Listen to sad songs because there is always some comfort in them. When I'm happy...
Maybe just between the two ideas, why not say, and then when I'm happy, or you could say, on the other hand, if you want to use a very commonly used discourse marker, on the other hand, when I'm happy, I listen to some happy sounds. I'm still not sure if that word is sounds or songs. I can't make out if he says sounds or songs.
I will listen to some happy songs like...
Okay, now that I listen to it again, I think it's songs, not sounds. That would make more sense. But rap is not a song. Rap is a type of music. So I listen to some happy music like rap. Rap is not a song. Rap is a type of music.
Happy songs like rap or rock and roll.
Again with the rock and roll. It doesn't exist.
What's your favorite kind of music? Well, It's kind of hard to answer this question.
Notice the pause here. Well, it's kind of hard to answer this question.
I do have my favorite kind of music.
Stress on do. But it's not I have my favorite kind of music. I do have a favorite kind of music.
But my favorite kind of music changes from...
Okay, and here the grammar's not so great. Why is there that there? I do have a favorite kind of music, but it changes from time to time. Why repeat this here? Why not just use it to refer to the favorite kind of music? So I do have a favorite kind of music, but it changes from time to time.
Kind of music changes from time to time. The reason why a kind of music becomes my favorite is that...
This I don't understand. The reason why I kind of music. What does that mean?
The reason why a kind of music becomes my favorite is that it provides the exact kind of comfort that I need during that period of time.
Okay, here he's referring to things that is clear in his mind, but it's not clear in the listener's mind. What is he to what period of time? And what is the music he's talking about? So the reason why I like different kinds of music is because at different times of my life I need different levels of comfort. Anyway, not clear to me what he's trying to say here.
The exact kind of comfort that I need during that period of time.
That, if you say that, you must have referred to the exact thing before, and he's never mentioned any period of time before, so you can't say that. What is it referring to? It's not time changes, it's times change, but times change.
Time changes, and the kind of comfort I need also changes. When I just broke up with someone and
I don't know why it's the past tense. So after I break up with someone and feel sad, because this is a situation that always happens. Why is he using the past tense? So when I break up with someone and feel sad,
sad, I would like sad love songs best. When I feel happy, I would just like romance or rap songs best.
Whoa, love, not rub, love. Romance or love songs best. Alright, some problems with the L there at the end. And another answer.
Well, my favorite kind of music changes from time to time.
Okay, here time is right. Time to time, but times change.
I like the kind of music that gives me the kind of comfort that I need.
This is clear. This is clear. I like the kind of music that gives me the comfort I need. Okay, that's understandable.
That I need. When I feel sad, I would like...
Again, just like.
Sad love songs best. When I feel happy, I would like romantic or rap songs best.
Again, problems with the L here. But hey, this last answer, even though it's the shortest one, I think it's maybe the clearest of the lot. Easiest to understand. Alright, let's listen to the second response.
When do you listen to music? I listen to music all the time on my phone and while I'm doing lots of different things. I listen to music when I'm exercising at the gym.
As I always say, do you notice the rising intonation here? When I'm exercising at the gym. Because we know there's something else coming, so our voice rises here on the first item in the list. When I'm working, I guess on working it's also going to go up.
When I'm working.
Hear that?
Or even when I'm relaxing or spending time with my friends.
But on friends it goes down because that's the last item in the list. What can I say about this? All I can say is notice the ing. When I'm exercising, working, relaxing, ing, so very consistent with the gerunds in this answer.
How much time do you spend listening to music every day? In total, probably about...
Notice his voice rises here to show uncertainty. Probably about 30 minutes to an hour.
30 minutes to an hour. I sometimes listen to music when I take the bus to work and also when I want to relax in the evenings.
Okay. Grammar is fine, pronunciation is fine. Only problem is length. It's a little bit short. So like when you take the bus to work and when you want to relax in the evenings, do you listen to the same kind of music? You could talk about that.
What kinds of music do you like to listen to? I'm a big fan of lots of different genres, and the music I listen to depends on...
Again, depends on. You can use this in so many different answers.
Where I am and what I'm doing. For example, if I'm...
Depends on, and then a noun phrase. Where I am, what I'm doing.
The gym, I listen to rock music to...
Notice he doesn't say rock and roll, he just says rock music.
Keep me motivated.
I'm not sure why his voice went up here. I listen to rock music to keep me motivated.
Be motivated. What's your favorite kind of music? I've always been into pop music because it's easy to listen to.
It's easy to listen to. Okay, there is a musical genre called easy listening. I guess pop kind of falls into that, yeah?
It's appropriate for all kinds of occasions.
Ooh, is this true? I'm not sure. Good vocabulary though. Appropriate and situations. And actually also the all kinds of. This is a great phrase. Appropriate for all kinds of occasions. Good phrase.
Some of them are very catchy and fun.
Okay, if you want to talk about melodies, catchy is a great adjective to describe the melody of a song.
And they put me in a good mood. Have you ever been to a concert before?
Notice the present perfect tense, but when you're going to talk about the specific event, you should be using the past tense.
Yes, I've been to lots of concerts.
So here, present perfect tense, but then here, when he talks about the specifics, he switches to the past tense, especially when I was a teenager.
Actually, when I was a teenager, because I used to spend all my money on concert tickets, and I used to go to gigs with my friends.
Okay, so gig is another word. Well, gig can have different meanings, but here, gig is another word for concert. I used to spend all my money on concert tickets. He doesn't give us any examples, like who did he go and see. But gigs is a good word. If I were him, I would just expand on this idea here. Like, give us some examples of tickets that you bought. Alright, let's have a listen to the next response.
What types of music do you like to listen to?
I usually listen to Chinese pop music. I'm very fond of two pop stars from Taiwan and Hong Kong.
Wow, this woman has such a beautiful voice. I just wish she would speak a little bit faster.
But I doubt you know their names.
Okay, notice the pausing here.
I'm very fond of two pop stars from Taiwan and Hong Kong. But
Pause.
I doubt you know their names. I also frequently listen to some...
Stress on frequently. I also frequently listen to some American pop songs.
American pop songs.
The only thing is, if she spoke a little bit faster, she would get some connected speech going. Some of the words would flow into each other and she would drop some syllables. But she's not doing that because she's pronouncing every word syllable by syllable.
I'm fond of two bands called Westlife and the Backstreet Boys.
Well, I don't know how old this is, but anyway, just as an aside, Westlife is not American, but okay.
It's called Westlife and the Backstreet Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I love the rhythm and the lyrics of some of the songs.
Okay, so what she's doing here is she is using words very specific to music, rhythm, and lyrics. But just the way she's reading this doesn't make her sound very natural. I mean, who's going to say, I also frequently listen to? No one is going to say that. And just here, why doesn't she connect this a little bit better? Like she says, I love the rhythm and the lyrics of some of the songs. But then here she wants to talk about rap. But there's no phrase here to make that transition. So why not say, and then occasionally, and then, that phrase, and then, shows you're going to talk about something else. And then occasionally, I listen to a bit of rap too.
Of the songs. Occasionally, I listen to a bit of rap too. Although I don't understand the lyrics, the tune gives me energy.
Why is it tune? Why does rap music just have one tune? The tunes.
I have uploaded many songs onto my MP3 player.
Good on for her for saying MP3 player, not MP3.
So I can listen to any kind of music I like, anytime, anywhere.
Good rhythm here at the end. Anytime, anywhere. Okay. Let's move on.
At what times of day do you like to listen to music?
Usually I put my earphones in when I go to school in the morning.
Okay.
I take the bus every single day.
Okay. But I'm a little bit confused about this. Why did you say this and then this? Why not say, usually I put on my earphones, I get on the bus every day because I hate listening to the bus radio. I mean, that's what people would normally say. She's reading a very scripted response.
I prefer listening to my own music rather than the bus radio.
I've never heard of the bus radio, but okay.
I often listen to music after school, too.
Mm-hmm.
On my way back, and sometimes in my room at night after doing my homework. Music can help me relax.
Music can help me relax. Alright, I don't know, nothing special about this. I wish you would speak a little bit faster.
Do you prefer to listen to recordings or live performances?
And this is a little bit confusing because if somebody asked me this question, because live performance is like a concert. So to me, this question means, like, do you prefer to listen to an MP3 or do you prefer to listen to the people when they're performing it at a concert? But I mean, live performances can also, of course, be recordings. So if you interpret live performance to mean concert, I don't think you're wrong. That's what I think it means too.
Performances.
I guess I don't really have a preference.
I guess I don't really have a preference.
It depends on who is playing.
Depends on noun phrase. Who is playing?
Usually, recordings are much clearer, the voices are better, and if the song is in English, it's much easier for me to understand the lyrics.
Okay, so she doesn't say because. And actually, it depends on who's playing. I don't understand this. It depends on who's playing, but then she doesn't develop this idea. She doesn't say, if it's A, I prefer live recordings. If it's B, I prefer recordings. She says it depends, and then she says usually recordings are much clearer. So she's saying it depends, but then she doesn't talk about the two choices. She just talks about how recordings are clearer. I would expect after this sentence to hear her talk about some bands who are good at performing live. Alright.
Names are much clearer, the voices are better, and if the song is in English,
is in English. Surely that's in English.
Better. And if the song is in English.
Oh, it is in English. My bad. If the song is in English.
The song is in English, It's much easier for me to understand the lyrics. However, live performances are very exciting, especially after the song, when the artist talks to the audience.
Do they talk to the audience? I guess they do. Live performances are very exciting. Yeah, you've got that atmosphere there that you can only get at a concert, right? When the artist talks to the audience, why not say interacts? When the artist interacts with the audience and everyone cheers and claps. Do people clap at a concert? I'm not sure. Why not say and everyone goes crazy? Because that's what happens really. People go nuts.
And everyone cheers and claps. It can create some pretty cool feelings.
Atmosphere. I think instead of feelings, maybe go with atmosphere.
Of music are popular in your country.
Well, Chinese pop music is huge here.
Okay, so instead of saying popular, she says huge.
This is the type of music you can hear if you go to karaoke, or if you turn on your TV around 7 p.m. at night.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. What happens at 7 p.m.? Interesting.
In addition, there are quite a few rock bands in my country, and they are very trendy. Nowadays, many young people like foreign pop groups like Linkin Park.
Oh, hang on a second. Okay, so here she said nowadays many people like rock bands. They're very trendy. So why, when you want to jump to the next one, so she went from rock bands to, what is it, foreign pop groups? Anyway, there's no marker that indicates she's going to talk about a different topic. So why not say, and then, you know, or also, many young people are into, foreign pop groups, like blah, 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 blah. Here, we have this, of course, but here, we have nothing. We just have nowadays. But nowadays by itself is not really good enough. We need to show the transition to a different topic. And then, nowadays,
young people like foreign pop groups like Linkin Park and Daft Punk. Of course, traditional instrumental music.
Oh, that's pretty good. Look at that, instrumental music. Well, actually, we've got three words here. The traditional, the adjective, instrumental, and music. Adjective, adjective, noun. Very good.
Music has always been well appreciated.
And she's using the passive. Traditional instrumental music has always been well appreciated. Passive voice.
It's been well appreciated. And some young singers, like Jay-Cho, mix ancient instruments like the pipa, erhu, or guzheng, with electric guitars and modern tunes.
Okay, here she uses the word mix, which is not wrong. But a lot of people would use the word blend. So they blend these ancient sounds with more modern sounding instruments.
Erhu, or guzheng, with electric guitars and modern tunes. It's an interesting combination that many people like.
Okay, good, expansive answer. It's an interesting combination many people like. Alright. Now here's this combination. Just when we talk about music, we often, also food, we often use the word fusion. So maybe she could have said, it's an interesting fusion that many people like.
And that many people like.
I mean, combination is not wrong, but fusion is a word that's often used.
Do all children in your country study music at school?
Yes, definitely. Music is a compulsory subject at school in China.
Okay, so there are two kinds of subjects. We have compulsory subjects and we have elective subjects.
Usually, teachers teach students how to sing and how to recognize the musical notes do, re, mi.
Okay, how to base verb, how to base verb.
You know, there are so many students per class, so teachers can't...
Oh, Oh boy. Okay, here's a slight mistake. Okay, so there are so many students per class that, not so. There are so many students per class that teachers cannot teach everyone.
There are so many students per class, so teachers cannot teach everyone how to play an instrument. It's easier to make everyone sing.
Alright, well, she gave us the answer in the beginning, very easy to understand, and then she explained why. It's compulsory, and I guess no more explanation, but she expanded on it. It's a compulsory subject, and what was the other reason? It's a compulsory subject, although the teachers focus more on teaching the children how to recognize the notes do, re, mi. Since there are so many people in every class, they can't really learn how to play an instrument.
Do you play a musical instrument?
No, when I was a child...
Okay, no. Well, we know where she stands.
I started learning the clarinet.
Okay, just before you say the name of a musical instrument, we use the article the. So the clarinet.
But it didn't last long. I didn't like it, and my mother kind of forced me to.
Kind of. These kinds of words that kind of qualify what we're saying, like quite and kind of. These are important words to use. So if you don't want to sound too blunt, you say, "My mother kind of forced me to."
We had a big fight one day, and that was it.
And that was it. Okay, so here is the first time that I really hear her using connected speech. That was it. Notice she drops the T here. That was it.
And that was it.
She doesn't say, "and that was it." She said, "and that was it." This is kind of a rare example of connected speech. Usually she says everything syllable by syllable.
I would like to learn how to play the guitar in the future. Right now, I have no time because of my studies. Maybe during the next summer holidays.
I will take up the guitar. Sounds to me like the last sentence is not really complete. It's not such a big deal when you're speaking. But I think maybe what you wanted to say is, I think during the next summer holidays, I might take up the guitar.
Do you think children should learn to play a musical instrument?
I think it's great if parents can give their children an opportunity to learn how to play one instrument.
One instrument, alright.
But the problem is that...
Let's see if there's proper chunking in this sentence.
But the problem is that, very often...
But the problem is that, notice the pause here. Very often, kids, blah, 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 blah. Pausing here. It's important to pause.
Kids don't enjoy it, but they keep on learning because their parents expect them to.
Okay, so here we have keep on VING.
Expect them to. Maybe it's better to wait until the children are old enough to actually make the decision on their own.
What? Okay, so she thinks everyone should have the opportunity to learn one instrument, although we should probably hold off till kids are old enough to make the decision on their own. Fair enough. Maybe, and here can. Okay. So there are two sides to the issue. It's good to know how to learn how to play an instrument, but don't do it at too early of an age. Yeah, situations are not always black and white. There are often two sides to every coin. Okay, here we go with sample 4.
When do you listen to music? Well, it just depends on...
Okay, as I said so many times before, depend is a verb. We don't need the be verb. It just depends.
My mood and my, circumstances.
Circumstances. No, I don't think circumstances is the right word. It depends on my mood and what I'm doing, or it depends on my mood and where I am, but not circumstances.
If I feel like I'm really relaxed and
I feel like I'm relaxed. You feel like you are relaxed. It's kind of a weird way of saying that. So if I'm really relaxed, or if I feel relaxed, but you don't feel like you are relaxed, because you might not actually be relaxed then. So if I feel really relaxed,
I don't have a lot of things to do, so I will listen to music anytime.
there's no so here. So if I'm really relaxed and I don't have a lot to do, I might listen to music the whole day or any time of the day.
Especially when I'm working in a gym.
You don't work in the gym, you work out in the gym. So especially when I'm working out in the gym,
like that, to really motivate myself. However, if just like
this guy speaks too fast.
It's just typical day of
what is this? A typical day of working. So no, if it's a typical work day. However, if it's just a typical work day,
I would maybe never listen to any music. Or
oh, there's no end. There's no not there. I would maybe never listen to music. Okay, so if it's a typical work day, I might not listen to any music.
I would maybe never listen to any music or listen to music when I get up. Usually some hip-hop songs to cheer me up. How much
hip-hop songs to cheer me up? Alright. If hip-hop cheers you up, it cheers you up.
Time do you spend listening to music every day? Like I said before, it's just like depends on.
Again, no be verb. And again, no circumstances.
On the exact circumstances I was in. Like,
why is this past tense? Okay, so again, like I said before, depends on what I'm doing that day. If I'm free, maybe it'll be blah 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 blah.
In like if I'm really free.
If I'm really free. If I'm free, let's drop the really. If I'm free.
Maybe it will be up to like 5 hours or 6 hours. I'm really crazy about music while I'm doing the driving. Or
you don't do the driving. So while I'm driving,
doing some exercise or weightlifting in a gym.
It's not jam. It's gym.
I listen to some rap music to motivate myself. But if I'm really busy, maybe
stress on busy. But if I'm really busy,
never do any music listening.
Again, you don't do. Here he said do driving. Here he said do music listening. No. But if I'm really busy, I might not listen to any music. That's what he should have said.
What kinds of music do you like to listen to? My two biggest favorites.
Biggest favorites. I'm not sure biggest is an adjective that can be used to describe favorites. So two of my favorites.
Like my two biggest genre.
No, they're not your genres. They can be your favorites, but they're not your genres. So, well, two of my favorites are. That's what he should have said. Two of my favorites are
rap and jazz.
Why is jazz capitalized here? Rap and jazz. Okay, let's do this again.
Rap and jazz. Now.
Good grief. Now. Okay, let's try this again.
Rap and jazz. Now I'm especially feel.
Again, he's using be verbs with main verbs. So now I especially feel. Interesting.
It's great to listen to trap music.
Well, he went from rap and jazz to trap. I don't see the connection between the two.
To trap music because that's come from ATL.
Again, he's using be verbs with main verbs. Okay, so he has this problem often.
Trap music really make you bounce.
Really makes you. Music is not a countable noun. Really makes you.
The club, and you can really relax yourself. And
you don't relax yourself. You just relax, and you can really relax.
It's also very easy to imitate.
Imitate is not the right word. Here he says sing. It's very easy to sing to. That's what he should have said. It's very easy to sing to.
Very easy to sing something of the trap music.
No, it's very easy to sing along, or it's very easy to sing to the trap music.
Sing something of the trap music. And jazz music, of course, is a classic. It could really help me to, relax myself.
Again, it really helps me relax. It really helps me relax.
Especially when I'm sipping a cup of coffee, in a bar or something.
In a bar or something. Well, at least there is some pausing here, and he doesn't speak too fast here.
In a cafe.
Okay, now here he said a bar, but here he just said in cafe. Cafes also need articles. So in a bar or, in a cafe. Bar, I don't know about bar. Do bars serve coffee? I don't think so. But cafes, or cafe rather, the singular, does need an article.
In a cafe, what's your favorite kind of music?
Well, I think he covered this already. I'm pretty sure if you say this, the examiner is not going to ask you what's your favorite kind of music. They're going to skip this question because you had already answered this.
Kind of music, well, like I said before, two of my favorite types. I don't have one, the only one favorite type of music.
I don't have, the one favorite type of music. Okay, so you didn't really continue this idea.
I think I have two selected music genre for myself.
Okay, first of all, the word is genres. And again, he's making the same mistake. These are not his genres. I have two favorites.
Jazz and rap. Jazz is more like, urban. It's like...
I'm not sure. Does he know what urban means? When you talk about music... Urban has a very specific meaning, and it's got nothing to do with the 20th century.
Just like the early 20th centuries?
No, it's not the 20th centuries, it's the 20th century.
Vibe?
And it's not vab, it's vibe. Now, vibe is a great word to use if you pronounce it correctly. When you talk about music, vibe is like the feeling you get from the music.
And rap music's more like rebellious. It's just...
Rebellious.
Like more against some established tradition, or just to be more pioneering.
Okay, if that's how he feels about it, that's how he feels about it.
That's who I am.
Okay.
Have you ever been to a concert before? Not exactly like the classical concert.
Notice here his voice rises to show uncertainty. Not exactly.
Or traditional string music, or
I don't know if it's string music. Is it string music? String music would be like a violin or something like that. Is that what he's saying?
Traditional string music, or some of these old classic music concert. But I go to some like live performance of the Chinese pop star.
Well, how on earth is that different from a traditional musical concert? But anyway, live performance is a good phrase. I do go to some live performances, because it's some, so performances are countable, of a Chinese pop star, not the. This is the first time you mentioned this noun, so the article should be a.
The Chinese pop star. And his name is Lin Youjia.
All right. Let's have a listen to the alternative response here.
When do you listen to music?
Guy is pretty funny.
Well, the question, the time when I listen to the music is really unfixed. It's like
Unfixed is not the wrong word to use, but it's a very uncommonly used word. Okay, so the time when I listen to music really depends. I think maybe that's what he should have said. It really depends, or it really depends on. Well, I don't know what it depends on. Let's hear.
I feel like I want to listen to music whenever I want to feel. I feel like I want to be.
I'm sure he knows what he's saying, but I don't know what he's saying. I listen to music when I want to feel like I want to be. Nope.
I want to listen to music. So it seems like, in the morning I would use some hip.
It seems like. Why? It seems like. Is he not sure about something that he himself does? There's no seems like. So in the morning, I use some hip hop to wake up.
To wake me up, and I can do some morning dancing or morning aerobics routine.
Aerobics routine. That is a great combination. Aerobics and routine definitely go well together.
And when I get some insomnia,
but then here he says you get and insomnia don't go together. But when I suffer from insomnia, the verb for insomnia is not get, it's suffer. Suffer from. When I suffer from insomnia,
I couldn't really sleep well at night. I would also listen to some, peaceful music, something like the Banderies or like work music.
I don't know what it is. Maybe these are names, but I don't know what he's saying here.
Like Chariot of the God.
Okay, this word is chariot. Chariot.
Of Valaris.
I always thought that... I don't know. I googled the song. I can't find it.
Valaris. I remember the name was Valaris. Something like that.
Could be, but I think he's wrong. And also, this is not was, it's is. I remember the name is blah, 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 something like that. Well, you can definitely talk on this topic for some time, and it doesn't sound to me like it's rehearsed. He does this off the cuff. Is this him again? Let's listen to this one.
The time when I listen to music is really uncertain.
But here he uses the wrong word again. The time is not uncertain. The time depends. Depends.
Unfixed because it would be dependent on different kinds.
Oh, here we go. Here, this is the right word. But it's not. It would be dependent on different kinds of situations. What he should have said is, it depends on the situation. It depends on the situation.
That I might choose whether to listen to music at the time or not.
I might choose rather to listen to music and the time or not. Is this word and or is it at?
I might choose whether to listen to music at the time or not.
I don't know what he means. It depends on the situation. Okay, so sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I don't.
For example, when I feel so nervous, I will listen to some hip hop music to really, unwire my brain.
Okay. So when I listen, when I feel nervous, I listen to hip hop to unwire my brain. I'm not going to say this is wrong. I don't often hear people say that they unwire their brain. But I can understand what he means. But often people might just say, to switch off. So I listen to some hip hop to switch off or to tune out. Something like that. Unwire my brain, not wrong, but I don't think I've ever heard people say that before.
Wire my brain. And like, some rappers, like Gucci Mane or Waka Flocka Flames, or I could...
Okay, there's a so here. And... So. Interesting.
Gucci Mane or Waka Flocka Flames, so I could feel so released.
You can't feel released. So I can feel release. I can feel relieved, but not released. Release, because people feel. I can feel released. I can feel relief. That's what I think you should say. Relief.
Would I feel down, or would I feel like I couldn't sleep? I want to.
Okay, this is good. Feel down, good. Pacify, maybe not the best word.
Sleep, I want to pacify myself by...
when you can't sleep, so when I want to get to sleep, because before you mentioned insomnia, so here maybe, so when I'm having difficulty sleeping, some Angelus, Chariot of the Gods, that kind of music can really put me to sleep. Put me to sleep, yes. Pacify, no.
Listen to some Vangelis, Chariots of the God, like warp music.
What is this word he's saying? Is it warp music? Warp?
How much time do you spend listening to music every day? Well, it's still also uncertain because...
Why is it uncertain? If something is uncertain, it means you don't know the answer.
I don't really count the times, like, the...
Oh, that word is count, right? Not kind.
It's still also uncertain because, I don't really count the times.
Yeah, it's not count. It's not kind, it's count. I don't really count off times. Is that right?
It's still also uncertain because, I don't really count the time.
Oh, it's there. Now I'm probably going to listen to this and I'm going to see that he said time and not times.
Also uncertain because, I don't really count the times, like,
Oh, he did say times. Okay, so I don't really count the time. There's no S. Time.
The length, the duration.
Okay, well, you did say time, so you don't have to explain length and duration. We understand what time means.
Length, the duration of me listening to music every day, like...
Of me listening to music every day. This has to be a noun phrase, of me listening to music.
I guess, I'm really a music lover, so maybe 1 to...
Maybe, yeah.
5 hours.
Whoa. Okay, so it varies quite a bit.
Be really, really unstable.
Unstable is not the right word. So it really varies. Oh, here we go, varies. Yeah, this is right. No, not unstable.
It varies.
No, not varies. Varies.
Like on the weekends, I would listen to a lot of music, different types of music while doing the exercise.
While doing exercise, there's no the.
In the gym.
In the gym.
But in the weekdays.
Okay, the preposition for days is on. But on weekdays.
Weekdays, I don't have a lot of time available.
There's no available. I don't have a lot of time.
I've just listened to a motor.
And why is he using the present perfect tense here? Because present tense, present perfect tense. So I just listen.
Amount of music.
Moderate amount of music. Nobody says that.
So I've just listened to a moderate amount of music.
I mean, it's not wrong, but it's not. People don't usually say this. This is not what native speakers say. So during the week, I don't have a lot of time, so I listen to music maybe a little less often. Less often.
What's your favorite kind of music?
I think we know the answer to this.
Well, actually, in reality, I don't really have my favorite type of music.
What? I thought you said rap and jazz. I don't really have a favorite. A favorite.
Just was to list one of them because.
What is he saying now? This is not clear. I don't really have a favorite, but if I have to choose one, is that what he's saying? But if I have to choose one, right?
List one of them because I think I love 3 different types of music.
What is he saying here? So what is this? Give at least one of them, but then he says 3. Not coherent.
Rap music, the jazz music.
There's no the. There's no the. Just rap music, jazz. There's no the here.
The rap music, the jazz music, and the blues music.
Again, no the. Wait a second. Did he say the?
So, blues music.
Oh, come on now.
The rap music, the jazz music, and the blues music.
He did say the. Yeah, for music, no, the.
Music and the blues music. So, rap music, of course.
Now he gets it right. Now he just says rap music.
Music and the blues music. So, rap music, of course, we know it's really relaxing.
I'm not sure that everybody's going to agree that rap music is relaxing.
I like the rhythm. I can dance to the beat.
Well, if you can dance to the beat, how is it relaxing? That doesn't make sense to me.
I can dance to the beat and nod my head and
Nod my head? Do people nod their heads? Bob my head. Bob is the right word, not nod.
time. But for jazz and blues, it's more like urban culture.
This guy uses the word urban again. I'm not sure if he understands what urban means when we talk about music.
And I feel like I'm really attracted by that kind of a rhythm or
really attracted. Okay.
Feeling that it's really soothing.
I don't know why there's a that. There's no because, so we don't need this. So I'm really attracted to this kind of soothing rhythm. Why not put the adjective with the noun? So I'm really attracted to that kind of soothing rhythm. Don't put the adjective here at the end of the sentence.
Feeling that it's really soothing. Yeah, I love them.
What is the them? What is he talking about? Is he talking about the rhythm? Rhythm is singular, so why use them? So yeah, I love it, not them.
I love them. Have you ever been to a concert before? Yes, of course. But I didn't really remember the details of that concert.
Why is this in the past tense? I don't really remember the details.
Like I remember it was a girls band. Like everybody listened to the.
Everybody listened, past tense, because I guess he's talking about the people at the concert. So it's finished, past tense. Everyone listened to the girls singing.
3 girls singing, and we were cheering for them.
We were cheering for them, cheering them.
But I think one of the most impressive moments in a concert was
a concert. It's the concert. Oh no, it is. He's talking about a different concert. So, but I think one of the most impressive moments I've had at a concert.
Impressive moments in a concert was me playing at a concert because.
Me playing at a concert, play at.
I'm a part-time rapper. I perform my own rap music with my group of same band.
It's not a group of same band. It's my group, just group. My own rap music with my group.
With my rapper friends.
Rapper friends, okay.
So I think people cheer for us.
Cheered. People cheered.
They cheered for us. So I think that was really impressive.
Oh, okay. If I were him, just okay. So of course I've been to one. Oh, he did say but. Oh, sorry, I take it back. Okay, I didn't really think about why he said this, but of course he said this because he was taking the answer in a different direction, talking about his own performances. And here is the word telling us that we should be looking out for a new, different idea, some contrasting idea. This, but I think. Okay, let's have a listen to sample 5.
What types of music do you like to listen to?
It depends on my mood.
This is how you use depends. Depends on noun.
If I need energy because I'm tired or sad, I enjoy listening to rock or R&B because they're exciting and very lively.
Is this going to be a lot of if sentences? If, oh, I guess not. Here, why not say, but if I want to relax.
If I want to relax or have a break from my homework, I would...
Notice the pause here. Break from my homework, pause. I'd listen to some softer pop music.
Into some softer pop music. My favorite singer is a Chinese star called Jay Chou.
Ooh, he's not Chinese, he's Taiwanese.
I like his music because it's a mix of styles.
Remember the other woman also talked about Jay Chou? She gave a much more expansive answer. This guy just says, I like his music because it's a mix of styles. She said, I forgot what she said. She had much more to say about his music.
At what time of the day do you like to listen to music?
I enjoy listening to music at all times. When I wake up, I like to listen to music because it gives me energy.
This guy loves talking about energy.
When I take the bus to school, I also listen to music on my MP4. It helps.
No, MP4 is a file format. And also, why is it MP4? MP4 is video. What is he saying? I also listen to music on my MP4. This doesn't make sense. This is a file format, and also I think this is the wrong number. MP3 player. Man, this must be old. I mean, nowadays everybody listens to music on their phones.
It helps me relax when the bus is crowded. At night, after a long day of studying.
Long day. Notice how he says long day.
I also listen to music. Sometimes, I also listen to my favorite singers when I'm doing my homework.
Do you prefer to listen to recordings or live performances?
I still have a problem with this question because to me it's kind of vague.
I think that the quality of music is better when it's recorded in a studio.
Studio is a great word to use when you talk about recordings because that's the place where the music is recorded.
In concerts, the atmosphere is great, but the sound and the voice of the singers are different.
Always? And different, better, or worse?
What?
But I understand what he's saying because not every band, not every singer sounds great when they're live. Actually, now that I think about it, why didn't he use the word live? Yeah, some people don't really pull off singing live very well.
Singers are different.
What types of music are popular in your country?
I think the most popular type of music is pop music. If we turn on the TV or the radio, we can listen to a lot of pop artists. But many young people also enjoy rap and hip-hop because they're exciting and very lively.
Okay, so some pretty standard adjectives to describe the music: exciting, lively, and then he talks about older people.
A lot of older people, like my parents and
Oh, there's a word missing there. My. There we go. My parents and grandparents.
Grandparents.
Why is there a comma there? There's no comma. Okay, what did they like?
Grandparents prefer listening to jazz or old traditional Chinese songs.
What can I say? All I can say here is, yeah, good here. Prefer, noun. Prefer, listening. Prefer goes with nouns.
Do all children in your country study music in school?
Sounds very familiar.
I think so. I think that every school offers music classes for students. Teachers want to improve children's creativity and give them a chance to learn more about Chinese and foreign music.
Is this true? Do they differentiate between Chinese and foreign music? I don't know.
Do you play a musical instrument?
Yes, I have been playing.
Okay, so the present perfect continuous tense. Why the present perfect continuous tense? Why the ing? Because he thinks that it's a long time since I was 5. So if you think it's a long time, throw in that ing there.
Piano since I was 5. I take lessons every week with a private teacher.
Tutor.
I love the sound of the piano. I think it's relaxing.
Whoa, I messed that up. Hang on a second. That shouldn't be there. There we go. I love the sound of the piano. I think it's relaxing. Okay, the only problem with this is that simple sentence. First one not, but a lot of simple sentences here. Okay, here's the alternative response where he says no.
No, although I took some music lessons when I was very young.
Okay, past tense, present tense. Past tense, well, I don't need to explain it. It's true now, I can't play an instrument.
I can't play any instrument.
Mm-hmm.
My parents wanted me to learn, but I wasn't interested, so I gave...
Oh my goodness. Okay, what's good about this is just the last phrase. Give up, or gave up rather. So, I gave up. I gave up trying to learn how to play. What was it? Oh, he doesn't say. So, I gave up on the lessons. Or, if you want to make this a little bit longer, so I gave up on trying to learn, or I gave up on noun. After gave up, the preposition is on, and then we have the noun.
Do you think children should learn to play a musical instrument?
I think that parents should encourage children to play music.
Okay, very similar to what the other woman said, but it should be up to the kids to choose whether they want to learn or not.
But children shouldn't have to learn if they don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't force young people to study music if they're not interested in it.
Study music. There's a little bit of a difference between learning how to play an instrument and studying music, I think. So, what? Oh, okay, so we shouldn't force young children to take up an instrument if they're not interested in it. Take up an instrument. I think that's better than study music. Alright, sample 6.
Now I'd like to talk about music. What's your favorite kind of music?
Well, I would say my favorite kind of music is jazz.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because my mother, when I was little, my mother used to listen to jazz, and so I heard it when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was a bit older, I started playing music.
Started V-I-N-G.
And the first kind of music that I played a lot of was...
These ers and the self-correction kind of makes him a little bit incoherent.
Jazz, and so I would say that my strongest connection musically is to jazz.
Okay, here we have an adverb to modify the adjective. So my strongest musical connection, or my strongest connection musically, is to jazz.
How much time do you spend listening to music every day?
Well, that's a funny thing.
Okay.
I'm that kind of person. I prefer to participate
Do we need 3 twos?
rather than to listen. And I don't actually listen to very much music every day at all.
Okay. Well, he's a native speaker, so the pronunciation, especially in this sentence, is really good. Especially the at all. Listen to that again. At all.
You listen to very much music every day at all.
Okay.
When do you listen to music?
I listen to music when people are performing, or when I'm performing.
I listen to music when people are performing. Okay, so at concerts, I guess. Is he going to tell us about these concerts?
And yeah, so that's when I have most of my musical experiences in live performances.
Oh, this is not a very good answer. Because she asked him, when do you listen to music? And this is kind of vague, like, when I'm performing, we'll talk about it. Like, where do you perform? What kind of music do you play? And when's the last time you listened to other people's performances?
Have you ever been to a concert before?
Well, I think he just... Well, he just answered that question because he talked about other people's performances. I think in the real test, they're probably going to drop this question if you say when other people are performing. Because then the answer is, of course, yes.
Have I ever been to a concert? I can't count the number of concerts I've been to, either as a performer or as an audience member.
Again, this answer is too short. Develop your answer better. You have to talk about some specific examples, like what was your favorite moment, either as an audience member or as a performer. Alright, here's the next sample.
Music. How often do you listen to music? Well, I listen to music all the time. As long as I have a little bit of time, I
As long as I have a little bit of time. Okay?
put on my headphones and listen to some songs. Because music is definitely something that is really relaxing and enjoyable.
I think everyone uses these adjectives. Relaxing and enjoyable.
You know, sometimes when I feel
Yeah, let's put this in a separate sentence. Okay, let's move this. There we go, that's better. Oh, come on now. Okay.
Sometimes when I feel under so much pressure.
When I feel under so much pressure. No. Is this wrong? But it's more usual to say when I am under so much pressure. When I am. Unwind, great word. Instead of saying relax, use the word unwind. But it's when I am under a lot of pressure, music helps me unwind.
Music helps me unwind.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Oh, come on. Let's put a period there. Okay. Next question.
How much time do you spend on listening to music every
Okay, spend. There's no on. This is listening. How much time do you spend listening to music every day?
day? I guess I spend at least an hour listening to
See, here there's no on.
music every single day. This usually happens on my way to school.
It's a bit weird to say this happens. I do this on my way to school. It's not something that happens to you. It's something that you do. It's not like you have no control over this.
My way to school. You know, every morning I take the subway to school, and it takes me about 30 to 35 minutes to get to school. So on my way there, I just listen to music because it definitely helps me pass the time.
Mm-hmm.
And also
Pass the time. Yeah, that's not a bad phrase. Listening to music helps pass the time.
It helps me pass the time. And also sometimes I listen to some music a little bit before hitting the sack.
I remember him using this before. Yeah, so before going to bed, he listens to music. He doesn't say why.
Did you like music when you were a child? Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been crazy about music.
I've been crazy about music. Maybe he means I've always been crazy about music. I think there's a word missing from here. Always.
All kinds of music. Rock and roll.
Again, it's not rock and roll, it's just rock.
Hip-hop, R&B, jazz, country music, and so on. I've been a huge fan of music ever since I was a kid.
Okay, so here the present perfect with since. I've been since I was a kid.
Ever since I was a kid. So I remember when I was growing up, I used to listen to my, I had a lot of cassettes. I would listen to them in my downtime when I
think I talked about downtime before. Downtime is usually when you're not working. That's your downtime. Here he's using downtime to talk about the time that he was not studying. So why is there an in there?
Not studying.
There's no in. When you're not studying, is that your downtime? I don't know. Downtime. Down is when you put the tools down from work. If you use it for studying, I don't know. It's kind of unusual.
Studying. So yeah,
So yeah. Great pausing. So yeah.
Totally liked music as a child.
And that's stress on totally. Let's play that again.
So yeah, I totally liked music as a
two eyes there. This occasional repetition doesn't matter. Pronunciation is so good there.
Have you been to a...
Oh, just one more thing. Instead of saying when I was a child, here he says as a child. Meaning is the same.
As a child. Have you been to a concert before? I have been to two. And one of them was last year.
Okay, so switching from the present perfect to the past tense, because here he's talking about the specific event.
Was in the middle of my summer vacation. I went to Jolin's concert in Shanghai with several of my friends, and we had a whale of a time there.
Okay, so instead of saying great time, he says a whale of a time there. He doesn't really explain why. I guess it's because Jolene's such a great singer, I imagine, but he doesn't say. Alright, next sample.
Well, what's your favorite kind of music? Well, there are many different kinds of music that I like, such as rock.
Rock. Let's put a comma there.
Such as rock, country, and hip hop. But my favorite is.
Okay, so here's the pattern: general to specific. I like ABC, but my favorite is. Oh, my favorite is D. Okay.
Pop music. Because it sounds good.
It sounds good. This is a very vague adjective. Pop music sounds good. Okay.
And it's very catchy. I mean, when I listen to some pop music, it always makes.
There's no be verb. The verb is here. It always relaxes me. It's not makes me relax. It relaxes me.
Relax, and I can also sing along with the music.
Sing along to the music. There's a difference between lyrics and music, so I can also sing along. Okay, I guess if you really want to say music, it's okay, but it's to. I can also sing along to the music, but it's to the lyrics, really. And again, there's no period. Okay. So yeah, I like pop music. It's pretty catchy, and when you listen to pop music, it's relaxing, and of course you can also sing along to the music. But like, I don't know, you can sing along to any kind of music, but okay.
Have you ever been to a concert before? Well, I've never been to a live concert before.
Live is a word that goes with concert, yes.
This is because I've been fully occupied with my study.
Studies. I've been fully occupied with my studies. The fully occupied is very great. Very great. The fully occupied is great, but it's studies.
Like writing papers or prepare for exams.
I think I mentioned this before, but conjunctions, when you have conjunctions, and this is a noun, this cannot be a verb. So writing papers or preparing for exams.
So I don't have the time to go to that concert.
Why is it that concert? So I don't have time, not the time. I don't have the time. Yeah, this, okay. So I don't have the time to go to concerts.
Besides, the singers that I like didn't come to my hometown to perform.
Haven't been to my hometown to perform.
So I was not that interested in going to those concerts.
Okay. I'm a little bit confused about the last sentence. So does it mean I'm not interested in going to the concert because they're held too far away? Why is this in the past tense?
To those concerts. When do you listen to music?
Listen.
Well, sometimes I listen to music when I'm jogging. Other times I listen to some music while walking my dog Jack.
Fair enough. When I'm V-I-N-G, and here also V-I-N-G. Okay. It's a bit of a short answer. I mean, not every answer is going to be very long. That's okay.
Well, how much time do you spend listening to music every day? Well, it really depends.
I think this is it. It really depends. Okay.
If I have a lot of homework to deal with.
Okay, instead of saying to do, he says to deal with.
I don't have time for music. And I really need.
I don't have time for music. That is the stress on don't. I don't have time for music.
Music. And I really need to focus on my study.
Studies. Oh my goodness, like writing a paper again.
Writing a paper, because listening to music can be distracting.
Distracting, that's a pretty good word to use. Okay. And look at the marker here, however.
However, if I have a lot of free time, like on weekends.
He gives an example, like on weekends. Okay, that's great.
I listen to music with my phone all
Oh no, it's on my phone. I listen to music on my phone.
the time. Just for fun.
Yeah, well, I think that's why most people listen to music. For fun. Anyway, here is sample 9.
Do you like music?
Is there anyone in the world who's going to say no?
Well, I'm really into music. The most important reason
I love this guy. He always sounds drunk.
it is a way to express my feeling.
Listening to music is a way of expressing your feelings.
Whenever I have spare time, I would like to listen.
There's no would. Whenever I have spare time, I like to listen to jazz
Music or light music over a cup of coffee.
Over is good. Over a cup of coffee is like while I'm drinking the coffee. Yeah, I don't have much to say about this, except the guy's pronunciation is horrible. Here's another response.
To be honest, I'm not so interested in music.
Did he say to be honestly? What?
To be honest, I'm not so...
To be honest, okay, so to be honest, here to be honest is used correctly because it's a surprise that he's not interested in music. So here, yes, he's justified in saying to be honest. So many people use to be honest incorrectly. He does not.
Interested in music. I think the explanation behind it...
He's not explaining an experiment. So why is he saying, I think the explanation behind this? Such a weird way of talking. So I think the reason is
that I feel bored when listening to music. That is to say, music will not attract me.
I feel bored. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this, but who is going to say that is to say music will not attract me? And also there should be does. Music doesn't attract me.
Nevertheless, say that I have got leisure time, I prefer to read a book or take a walk.
There's no nevertheless, because nevertheless means that you are going to give a counterpoint. But this is not a counterpoint. He just says he prefers reading a book or going for a walk. Nope. Not nevertheless. So he should just have said, say, I've got some free time. I prefer reading a book or going for a walk.
What type of music do you like?
Why don't they have the woman answer the questions and the guy asking the questions?
Personally, I feel jazz music is always my type. I'd attribute to the fact...
Okay, attribute needs an object. So I'd attribute it. Attribute
to the fact that it makes me think when listening to jazz music.
Okay, the it is the jazz music, right? So jazz music makes me think when I'm listening to jazz music. It's a very cumbersome way of saying this. So the reason for this is jazz music makes me think. Let's leave out the listening to jazz music.
Makes me think when listening to jazz music. A classic example of this whenever...
And this guy slurs his speech so much I can't make out the word. What is he saying here?
Jazz music. A classic example of this...
I so sampled this. Open your mouth, dude.
Whenever I listen to the jazz music...
No, there's no the. So whenever I listen to jazz music...
it gives me inner peace and I feel quiet and cozy.
Okay, inner peace. Yeah, it's not a bad phrase.
What kind of music is popular now in China?
To the best of my knowledge...
Now this is a great phrase, because who knows what everybody likes, right? So, to the best of my knowledge...
I think folk music is quite popular in China today.
Interesting choice, folk music. I'm surprised, but hey, who knows, maybe it's true.
All the same, I guess different kinds of music are popular amongst different groups.
Okay, so all the same. So even though folk music is popular, I guess, but all the same, it's like Even though this is true, there's also a counterside, and the counterside is, well, this.
Music are popular amongst different groups.
Mm-hmm.
For instances, there's
no S. For instance, and there's no the here. So for instance, young people
prefer pop, band, or rap.
What? Why is it pop, band? Band is not a kind of music. So, for instance, young people prefer pop or rap.
Band or rap. Well, the old people are
okay. There's no the. Well, old people
fond of classical, light, or opera.
Classical what? Classical something.
Classical, light, or opera.
Don't know. Okay, so here opera is a type of music.
Can you play any musical instruments?
I'm afraid no.
I'm afraid not. Can you play a musical instrument? Yes, I can. No, I cannot. I'm afraid not.
I'm afraid no. Although I think it's so cool to play a musical instrument no matter what it may be. Guitar.
The guitar.
Piano or even drums. Meanwhile, if I choose...
Why meanwhile? Meanwhile is used either to show contrast or if two things happen at the same time.
Instruments to play one day, I would always like to learn how to play the piano.
What on earth happened there? Okay, so first of all, there's no meanwhile. So what he should just drop the meanwhile. So if in the future I do choose an instrument to play, it would be the piano. That's what he should have said. If in the future I do pick up an instrument, or I do take up an instrument, not pick up. If in the future I take up an instrument to play, it would be the piano. How did he pronounce piano? It's a very weird way of pronouncing the word.
Play the piano.
Oh my goodness. Piano. Alright. Yeah, definitely no meanwhile here. Alternative response. Alright.
For sure, I have learned how to play the guitar when I was young.
No. When I was young is in the past and it's finished. There's no have. So I learned how to play the guitar when I was young. There's no have. Not present perfect tense, just past tense.
You know, it was really difficult for me to play it.
I think it was very difficult to learn.
But I spent a lot of time on practicing it.
There's no on. I spent a lot of time practicing it. If there's ing, there's no on.
As a result, I think it is kind of way to cheer me up when I feel blue.
Why does he talk in such a weird rhythm? As a result of what? As a result of spending a lot of time on it? I'm not sure what's the result here.
Result, I think it is kind of way to...
It is a kind of way to cheer me up when I feel blue.
Cheer me up when I feel blue.
Weird way of talking. The blue is good, but there's an article missing here. It's a kind of way.
How does music affect people's lives?
This is a very hard question for part one.
First of all, I'd like to point out music affects people's lives in many different ways.
Well, okay, but saying that there are many different ways is not really pointing anything out. The language is not bad. There's nothing wrong with the language. It's just the content is so vague and empty. I just want to listen to this again.
First of all, I'd like to point out music affects people's lives in many...
Yeah, that's what I heard. There's no S there. It's people's lives, not people lives. People's lives.
First of all, I'd like to point out music affects people's lives in many different ways, just as there are many different sorts of music. But in...
Okay, so music affects people's lives in different ways, just as there are different kinds of music. Again, there's nothing wrong with the language, but I don't know what this means.
Sorts of music. But in my personal experience, I believe that it is just like a book. which records stories, love, happiness, and so on.
What is the it here? I believe that it is just like a book. What is the it? Is it the music? Is it people's lives? What?
It is just like a book, which records stories.
Okay, here we have this relative clause, which record... I think I made a mistake there. He said records, right? My bad.
Which records stories, love, happiness, and so on.
I don't really understand the idea here.
In addition to this, I guess it's also a language of emotion. In addition to this, I guess it's also a language of emotion.
I don't understand what any of this means. Well, so music is...
In addition to this, I guess it's also a language of emotion.
Okay, so music is a language of emotion. That's fine. But the question is, how does it affect people's lives? Okay, so people get emotional when they listen to music. And the effect of that is what? I don't know. You didn't answer the question. If I were the examiner, I would repeat the question. I didn't get what he was saying. It didn't sound to me like he answered the question. It sounded to me like he gave a rehearsed answer. Don't do that. It's not going to impress the examiner.